And welcome to Cinema 9 podcast with me, Travis Roy, Eric Brandstrom, and Mike Govier is not joining us today. We are happy to have our friend from Mike's sister show, Is It Safe, Luke Horlbeck. Hey, Luke. He's muted. This is his first time podcasting. Welcome to the world of podcasting, Luke.
Do we mention he has another podcast he's on regularly?
Thank you for having me, guys. What were you saying? I don't think I heard that.
Audio trouble? How you doing, Eric? Good to see you, man.
Travis, how are you, man?
This is what podcasting feels like. I was starting to forget. This is our second in 6 weeks.
It's true, man. It's true.
Yeah.
Spaceship kind of
holiday
lands
schedule.
when it lands.
Yeah, we do what we can when we can, right? It's good to be doing here, and we're today going to be talking about Gremlins from 1984, which Luke was kind enough to choose and kind enough to fill Mike's shoes today. Mike is elsewhere. So, Luke, are you guys on hiatus over there at Is It Safe podcast right now?
Yeah, we're on hiatus, and then we discussed doing some guest hosts, and we've just. So we're gonna have my brother on actually, which actually should be a fun show. I think he's been chomping at the bit a little bit to like jump in and be a guest host at some point. And so this is the first time it's like, oh yeah, it's like a boulevard of unbroken green lights. Let's do this.
Awesome. That's cool. Eric, how you been? Anything going on with you?
Whoa, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Computer just like went dark. Me? Yeah. Oh, I'm getting 2 hours of sleep. Blood pressure is skyrocketed. Back on cholesterol pills. I'm doing great. Yeah, life is fantastic right now.
That sounds wonderful. That sounds good for you. I've had bronchitis for like the past 2 weeks, so I'm able to speak again, which is nice. I've been really sick.
That's what's going around. I immediately was like, Chris, we got COVID. She was like, we don't have COVID. I was like, we do. First of all, I don't understand why you're worried about it. I understand like why there's still this stigma, but it's bronchitis. It's literally what it is. It's like, it won't go away. I've got this nagging fucking cough. It's
That's
2 weeks.
That's my 2 weeks. I'm at like 12 days. That's my conclusion. I went and got tested because I had to get, to get a fucking second day off work. I had to have a doctor's note. I'm like, okay, but that was expensive.
2 days.
Oh boy.
two big rest days.
Right. But at any rate, so I went and got tested, and it was negative for everything, like COVID, RSV, both flus. I'm like, well, all that's left is viral bronchitis, and I'm pretty sure that's what I've had.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I don't know about you, Eric, but for quarantine viewing picks, I mean, I have like a million movies. I was sick. I took 2 days off work. There was a 5-day vacation for Thanksgiving. There's been multiple weekends. I have a lot of movies to talk about.
I'm excited to jump in. Like I'm fine, but my entire family is sick. Angie has like pneumonia and bronchitis. Like it's like the fucking black plague over here right now.
She's sick. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, this is it. I thought I had pneumonia. It was like it reminds me of when I had pneumonia. It feels like it, but it's not fun. It's been a very sick time in the world, in the country.
Well, why don't we jump into it and talk?
I ripped through like a fuckload of movies on Hulu, just like you may also like, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, just kept watching one after the other, and I went into my I can't find my watch history.
Oh, that's a bummer. So you don't know, you have no idea what you watched? That's why I write it all down.
I watched notes. I watched a lot of stuff.
I have a memory.
Like The Invaders, the Standers, the Movers, Shakers, the Destroyers. Quakers, I don't know. There's just like it's a bunch of titles that don't. Yeah, go ahead. I'm actually going to see if I can look that up while you guys continue on with your.
You combobulate yourself.
Dude, completely. It's fucking nailed it.
I watched a lot of movies. I'm not going to talk about them all. A lot of holiday movies. I'll try and stick to like new movies from 2023. I checked out Leo, the new Adam Sandler animated feature for kids. Thoroughly enjoyed it. If you like Adam Sandler movies, this is fun. It was cute. I liked it quite a bit actually. I checked out Blue Beetle, which wasn't bad. I don't regret not seeing it in theaters, but I was definitely entertained by it. If you like superhero movies. If you don't like superhero movies, then don't fucking watch Blue Beetle and keep your mouth shut about it. But otherwise, it's gonna be up your alley. Um, One of the main recommendations I have for this break, I was looking forward to this documentary for some time. The Little Richard documentary, I Am Everything. I thoroughly recommend checking this out.
I'm pumped.
You don't have to be a fan of Little Richard. If you like music, if you like history, if you like knowing why the world is the way that it is in some small way, you know, Little Richard's one of the most influential people in American history, and he didn't get enough credit when he was alive, and he's not got enough credit since he was dead. And this really does a great job of illustrating the importance of him in our popular culture history and his role in helping to create rock and roll. It's just really, really good. Definitely recommend it.
Did they get into like the final
Everything.
years when he kind of dismantles that persona and
Everything? I mean, that's partly why
I
he's
gotta
so
see
interesting, because the dude was so tortured. He was so back and forth between being like gay icon and being like an evangelical. You know, he was.
I got to see this doc.
It's great. It's really good. There is some really like over the top kind of like these magical things that they install. There's just like, oh Jesus, like enough with the fucking special effects. But other than that, it was really good. Speaking of special effects, I was entertained by Haunted Mansion, the new, the Disney one. It was a little long, but it was fine. If you like it hits that sweet spot of like the Frighteners for me. If it's spooky and like family fun, but also like just a little too spooky where you're starting to be like, is this okay for kids? That's like the sweet spot for me. That's where I really like it. And so I enjoyed that. Genie, the new Apple movie, was fine with Melissa McCarthy as a genie. Christmas movie called Genie. I don't know if that's a great marketing ploy, but there you go. It exists. I watched this long fucking movie with Warren Beatty in it called Reds from 1981.
We're talking about Red?
I don't know. 3.5 hours of my life. I feel like I've watched it for this show. I'm going to at least mention that I watched it. We're apparently not doing the episode. Anyone that was like, hey, where's that Reds episode? Apparently it's not coming. So sorry about that. Put it right up there with me, myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
I never got around to it. Another holiday movie, new one with Eddie Murphy called Candy Cane Lane.
Oh my God.
It's getting not great reviews, but I gotta tell you, I kind of enjoyed it. It was a little long again, but it has like this kind of like almost a horror element to it, like a light family horror in a Christmas movie. Very light, but it's kind of there. It was entertaining. What can I say? I saw Scrooge from 1970 for the first time. I'd never seen the musical version before. I loved it. Albert Finney is a great Scrooge. Totally dug that. I did my regular check-in on Daddy's Home and Daddy's Home 2. My last
regular check-in.
Oh yeah, once or twice a year.
He's a big fan.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Daddy's Home,
the first one.
Daddy's Home 2 is a Christmas movie. So and I actually think I like that one even better than the first one, to be honest. So I definitely would recommend Daddy's Home 2, especially this lovely holiday season. I loved Elemental, the new Pixar movie. I loved Elemental. I thought it was really good. You didn't like it, Eric?
Hated. I'll get into it.
I loved it so much. I didn't watch it again the next day, but I thought about it. I thought the effects were great. I thought the story was engaging. I really enjoyed it. That you're like rolling your eyes and looking angry that I like something that you didn't like is upsetting to me. I don't understand this response at all.
Wait till I get to Blue Beetle.
I mean, Blue Beetle was. Jump in when we're talking about it. Why wait? Just jump in with me. I thought Blue Beetle was again just dumb entertainment, but Elemental I thought was pretty elevated. I thought it was really good. I'm surprised you didn't like it. And lastly, the last thing I enjoyed this out of the many things I'm leaving out is Leave the World Behind. I could see some people not digging this new Netflix feature, but I think it's a thinker. I think it's one of the scariest movies I've seen in a while. I think that it's one of those movies that it was a little slow as I watched it, but it's stuck with me. I've thought about it over the last few days and grown to like it more as I've thought about it. I definitely enjoyed Leave the World Behind.
So that's a film and not like a little mini series.
That's a new film with
Okay.
yeah, Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali, and Ethan Hawke.
I saw that monster cast, and I was gonna get around to it until I heard like it's one of these Obama Netflix movies that he's producing. I'm like, I'm good.
It's just the way he's the executive producer, but that's I mean, there's kind of a political element to it, but it's not like he's like wearing a tan suit through the whole thing. If that's what upsets you.
You know, it's funny is everybody brings up this tan suit thing. I've heard other podcasters bring it up multiple times. I don't remember this at all.
I would 100% remember it.
Huge deal.
I don't even understand what the whole thing was. Anyways,
what the thing was is
it's not the right pod.
Well, real quickly, since you brought it up, though, he wore a tan suit for a live TV appearance, and like Fox News and other commentators are ripped apart like how unpresidential he was to be wearing a tan suit, and that's it. That's the story. Cool. So, what about you, Eric?
That's
what
the least threatening he's ever been. The threatening part of him is when he's being presidential. Okay, it's again not the right pod.
Okay. Anyways, save it for your podcast.
Cut Mike off. Mute him.
All right. So Eric, what have you been watching?
I tried watching Elemental like 3 times, and like I just could not get through the thing. I'm like, I don't know what it is with Pixar. Like, I can't put my finger on it. Like I'm kind of tired of like the blob characters they keep showing. Like, and I'm also like I'm like Pixar. I'm not racist. I'm cool with diversity. You don't have to keep showing me these worlds where all people, quote unquote, can get along. Why do they keep delivering the same message?
That wasn't what it was, though. I mean, that literally was.
I'm sure it could be many things, but that was a pretty overhanging arc that everybody should get along from all quadrants of this elemental world.
I mean, I think there's some of that there, but to me it was more about the story of it being like an immigrant's child and like trying to like adapt to a new country as a first generation immigrant. That's what it seemed to be about me. I mean, like, you know, someone getting used to like a new culture and all that kind of stuff, and like starting to get outside of the norms of the culture that their families brought into the new country, that kind of stuff.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, that's not that far away from what I'm actually saying, but I mean, it's a good message. I just feel like it's getting a bit redundant. I feel like I've heard that same message over like 3 Pixar movies now. Are we at O'Hare? What is happening?
What the fuck is this? Is there plumbing going on? Is
that somebody's plumbing? Hold on, I'm gonna mute
nothing at my house. I didn't hear anything.
It's not me, or it's not Eric. Is it? Well, now it stopped anyways.
I checked out this horror movie, Cobweb. I don't know why. It's like the same shit. Like, I mean, Lizzie Kaplan, you know, I'd watch her cook spaghetti, but the movie's just not there for me. It's just not there for me. We got a dumb cartoon monster at the end that wastes all my time. I'm shaking my head. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Can't recommend it. I did honor the passing of the great Matthew Perry by enjoying on Tubi the Ron Clark story. He plays like this teacher. It's like from like 2002. What is that? What is that?
It's the same noise again.
Hold on. Is it me?
Luke,
I'll just
Luke,
turn
go
all
on
the way
mute.
down. Turning it down.
Not us.
It's all down. It's turned
Luke,
all the
mute
way
yourself.
down now.
Okay.
Do I have to mute myself too? I already turned down
Probably.
the thing. I turned down the thing.
I
You
think
still
it's
hearing
probably-
something?
And
No,
yet,
no, I don't hear it now.
anytime the description of a movie is like white
damn.
teacher goes to the inner city to try to like save the class that are running amok, I'm there. I told you this many times. There's
Yet
so
you
many
haven't seen
examples.
Hamlet
What is that?
Yet you haven't seen Hamlet too.
Oh no, I've seen Hamlet too, but if that's the description, I'm there. This time it's Matthew Perry who's got to go to the East Harlem and get these kids in gear, and it's like a made-for-TV movie. I'm sorry. Like, it's fun because like those are always fun because they're always the exact same. Like he goes in there, the principal's like, I know you had a lot of success in like Pennsylvania, but you don't know where the fuck you are. Like these kids are insane. And then like he gradually teaches them, and you got your mandatory like you like rap, don't you? Well, Shakespeare was a rapper. Like in every single one, that scene happens, and they're like, bullshit. He's like, oh yeah, you ever heard Macbeth? And then they go all into it. That happens. It's so dumb. And like
terrible.
Matthew Perry's like a fine actor. You're talking to like one of the biggest Fools Rush In fans of all time. But like he's bad in it. He's bad in it. God rest though. And Godspeed. It is a good American story, but they just keep telling the same story. It's ridiculous, but fun. I'll watch any inner city school gets run amok and needs help from a teacher.
White savior.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but
Yeah,
I think I was heading in that direction. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Anytime a white teacher goes into Harlem to teach, I'm there.
God, this Mike leaves and we go full Joe Rogan.
I mean, it is the quintessential American story. I mean, become a white
It
savior and then die of opioid addiction because of a back problem. That seems about right.
Getting very meta with this. What did you want to say anything else, Eric?
That's not meta. That shit's real.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh boy. Sure. Suspect starring Cher and Dennis Quaid from 1987. Never even heard of it. But I saw Cher and I hit play. So I watch anything Cher's in. It's not good. It's not good.
That's why you never heard of it.
Yeah, it's horrible. She's good in it, but the movie's awful. A lot of Columbo. I'm back. So that's going to be taking up the majority of my time. And Jeepers Creepers. I never saw Jeepers Creepers, but I saw what's that guy's name? Justin Long. Like anytime Justin Long's in it, I can't take credit for this, but like Angela says this all the time. She's like, you want like the best scream queen of all time? Forget Jamie Lee Curtis, forget Neve Campbell. It's Justin Long. Because he's always the victim in a horror movie. And he's always really good at playing a victim in a horror movie.
He's great at it.
Yeah, that's so good because Barbarian was
Barbarian?
I'm sure you guys already talked about that.
And a whole episode on it.
Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I watched House of Darkness. That was one of the weird movies in the ether of my memory here in the last like month. And he plays just the
asshole,
fucking smarmiest, just
same
shit.
Asshole in every movie.
He plays this. He does, but he plays it with a little bit more nuance. Where I was kind of like, you know what, this guy is he's convertible. Like he isn't necessarily the like absolute demon that's I don't know, that you might expect him to be in order to be like devoured alive, which is what happens at the end, of course.
Okay.
But it's it's another one of these like kind of faux proto-feminist depictions of feminist power that basically takes somebody who's a misogynist and like that's
well, it's Neil LaBute, right? So he's going to be flipping.
It is.
That's what he does is gender stuff. So,
and I feel like that's like all he does.
A little bit,
pretty much,
kinda, right? Which is fine. I mean, it was not a bad movie. It just wasn't really that great.
Yeah,
yeah. But Justin Long actually is an awesome fucking dupe and idiot, and he's fucking perfect at it. Oh my god, he's so good.
Harper is out, by the way.
She's out. Harlow. She's out.
Harlow. I'm so sorry. I'm calling your daughters by the wrong name.
Oh, and Goosebumps. Justin, I watched that too. I tried to. It's awful. He's in that.
Yeah.
And it's horror, and he screams a lot.
Yeah. No, your wife is 100% correct. Pretty much the scream queen of our generation, which is fucking awesome. Actually, we flip the gender, man. Let's go for it. Right. What else did I see? I saw. Okay, saw House of Darkness. I watched Cobweb. Okay, Eric, I watched that as well.
Jesus.
I'm really glad you brought that one up because it was just like constantly thrown at me in the app, and I was like, oh fuck, all right, fine, I'll watch it. Not bad. I just felt like atmospheric, pretty cool. The creature kind of ending of it is pretty dope in my opinion, but not, I mean, the movie is just like, it's just there's nothing to say about it. I mean, it's kind of like a ghost house story that is all very much like kind of familial and family oriented. So there's really not much like there's not a larger point to be made, not a lot of arguments to be made, and I mean I think that's one of the issues that we're getting at with a lot of the the acceleration of production of so many different films that we're just not hearing a lot of decent arguments. However, I did watch Your Next, and I thought Your Next was fucking sweet. Did you guys watch that?
Yeah, we did a whole
covered it
episode
on the
on it.
show. We love Your
You
Next
did.
here.
You actually did an episode.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. I love that movie.
Dude, that movie fucking rules. And
It does.
that to me, like, when I look at House of Darkness as like a kind of proto-feminist film, I look at Your Next and I'm like, no, that actually is way more on the feminist fucking rails than it's fucking awesome. And so I loved it. And God, I have watched so many movies I don't know what it's been, maybe the cloudy weather. I've watched so many fucking movies I can't even remember what they're called.
You watch Reds?
What is Good God, no. The winter isn't long enough to watch Reds again.
Mike, you owe us one.
Yeah, that's true.
Winter is coming is what happened when I watched Reds 20 years ago.
Oh God.
And it was enough. Thank you, Warren Beatty, for solving all of our problems.
Okay.
All right.
There was one. I can't. It has sorry.
No, that's okay. You're not. This
will be super quick.
No, go ahead.
It has Martin who's the dude from Silicon Valley. Martin Starr.
Martin Starr.
Martin Starr is it Intruders? Is it Invaders? Did you guys see this one where they basically break into the house of a woman who is afraid to go outside.
Agoraphobic.
She's agoraphobic. And so they break into her house because she's supposed to be at her brother's funeral, but she can't leave her house. She's too afraid to go to her brother's funeral, even though she was planning on it. Oh, okay. Well, that one was actually pretty dope. I can't remember what it is because I can't see on Hulu what I actually watched. They're like, you've got a problem. We can only show you the last 5 movies. That's like 20 movies back.
I love how we live in a world where there is a new David Fincher film widely available to us on Netflix, and no one's bothered to watch it.
I watched
30 movies.
Yeah,
I watched like 30
How
movies.
is it?
It sucks.
Oh,
maybe that's why I didn't watch it. I'm afraid it's going to suck.
God damn it.
Yeah, it is. It's going to suck, and you're probably going to be annoyed.
Our buddy Brian
serious?
Madison.
No, I mean
really
I've heard people love it, but
yeah, Madison liked
I
it.
don't agree. I disagree. Yeah,
I'm going to watch it, but I got to be in the right mood. I've been watching mostly. I mean, I didn't really talk about it, but I've been watching mostly Christmas movies and shit. That's what I've been watching. I'm not in the fucking mood for people murdering each other, unless it's a full blown horror movie, and then I'm really on board. Because that's what I like this time of year is horror movies and Christmas movies because I'm an extremist.
Yes. Oh, Violent Night. Watch that too.
It's on my list. Yeah.
Violent Night. Okay.
No spoilers. I'm still going to watch that very
No
soon.
spoilers. No spoilers at all. Violent Night was definitely worth the watch.
Awesome. All right. Well, so we've definitely watched a lot of movies, and we also watched Gremlins from 1984. Right? Should we get into it?
Sure. Yeah, let's get into it.
How's our podcast go again? Do we start with
no idea.
We guess the rating first, right?
I think so.
That sounds right.
That's the rating.
All right. So what do we think the rating is on this American fucking classic film, Gremlins, on IMDb?
6.8.
I mean, if it's a barometer of like what I think about America, I think they probably don't like a movie that's a fucking masterpiece. So I'm gonna assume 4.1.
Oh,
Gremlins?
no, Lou.
I'm gonna say
No,
7.9.
I'm kidding. Yeah,
7 point. No,
It's 7.3. It's 7.3,
okay.
which is
No
lower
shit.
than I would have guessed.
Not even.
Yeah,
It's not
I'm
even
not
over 8.
surprised.
It's 7.3. I thought it was gonna be closer to 8. 7.3 is what it is.
Damn.
Oh, right. Then we have to go to Rotten Tomatoes, right? This is the part
Yeah,
that
I got
Mike
it
always
up.
handles.
I got
Okay,
it up.
good.
Mike enjoys this.
Critics are happy at 88% positivity rate. And Richard Corliss, of course, says, wildly original roller coaster ride of hilarious mischief from Time Magazine. Peter Travers, he chimed in. Here's
All
the
right.
season's most delicious and unexpected surprise. Despite the horror flick title, Gremlins is a movie of wicked wit and startling invention, and it has heart. That's at least a match for the special effects, but not everyone's happy. This guy's pissed. This guy is pissed. Vincent Canby from the New York Times. Oh, Gremlins
Canby
is far
sucks,
more
man.
yeah. Gremlins is far more interested in showing off its knowledge of movie lore and making random jokes than in providing consistent entertainment. He splats it.
It's just I love the idea of this man sitting at the in the theater taking notes, being like, I was not consistently
I'm not
entertained.
having this.
His,
Come on.
his glowing pen in his clipboard in 1984, just furiously scrawling.
Roger Ebert, the legend from the Chicago Sun-Times. At the level of serious film criticism, it's a meditation on the mythos of our movies. Christmas, families, monsters, retail stores, movies, boogeymen. At the level of pop moviegoing, well, it's sophisticated, witty B-movie.
Dude, it is the most. I actually watched the Siskel and Ebert episode
Okay.
from Gremlins.
Yeah, 84.
And it was just that. It was also that bad. It was also just that limited and ignorant.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Elaborate.
yeah, because I didn't find that limited or ignorant. I thought that was kind of, I mean, a good observation that the movie is covering a lot of pop culture ground at once.
Sure, I think it's limited, I guess, or maybe shallow, and that is where Ebert goes. Like that's his. It's not always his raison d'etre, but um, it's essentially where he goes a lot. It's where he surfaces.
Well, media studies is kind of his thing, right? So I mean, he's gonna.
Yeah, he sticks to like the really bland, inoffensive. I hardly say what he's done as critique. Every once in a while, you'll catch a critique of his where you're like, "Oh shit, he's actually trying to crunch the numbers here." But no,
You ever see
not
that
something like
YouTube-
this. And I understand why.
Luke, go watch that YouTube clip of Roger Ebert at Sundance standing up and screaming at the top of his lungs at a particular movie that's trying to make a very, very salient point about American culture. He is fucking pissed, and he brings up an excellent argument, even with his like world famous standing. It says everything about him. Dude, I know what you're talking about. Like, this is somebody who is championed the underdog while at the same time like stomping on the excesses of Hollywood and its very own consumers for forever, man. Right? Ebert's the best.
I mean, he's second only to Destin on this show.
Disagree.
To be honest,
Yeah.
but to each their own. So you brought this show, or you brought this movie to the show, Luke. Do you remember the first time
Oh,
you watched
man.
it?
Dude, this was just in the ether for me as a child. It's always nostalgic when I watch it. So there's always that connection to me where there's like an unconditional love or an unconditional experience. And every time I watch it, I do get it like a different experience. And like this time around, watching the torture that poor Gizmo goes through just really broke my fucking heart.
Right?
It made me so like upset. It made me
Yeah.
so fucking upset. Oh my god.
Same.
But I also had to remind myself that this is, from Joe Dante, a dyed-in-the-wool socialist film director who is like trying to tell us that like, hey, don't let the cuteness fucking blind you. Like the problem is the status quo here.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like the jump off for like the reason why I wanted to even have this movie on here and have this conversation.
And Joe Dante, he also is always big on well, not always, but for the most part, big in his films on using like these nature allegories and like the ways that like humans are, um, they're hubristic towards nature, then nature ends up like one upping them and fucking them up, which is like most of his movies, which is fun.
Piranha too. You saw, or not Piranha 2, but Piranha also.
Piranha,
because Piranha 2 was James Cameron,
Yep.
but Piranha,
right? Piranha. One of also my
Howl,
Matinee, Howling is what I was trying to
Explorers,
think
the
of.
all-time
Howling, not Howl, Howling. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Although there is a decent werewolf movie called Howl. Anyways,
Yes,
so
yes.
I don't remember the first time I saw this movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's just like it's baked into my life. I was fucking 4 years old when I saw it. I was 4 years old when I saw Phoebe Cates say to the screen, "There is no such thing as Santa Claus," and I guess I just kind of glossed that one over. Thanks, Phoebe.
Yep, you've done some great things for cinema. That's not one of them.
But kids across America watched that movie and like bought the toy, ate the fucking cereal. There's no Santa Claus. Anyways, yeah, but it's just kind of always been there. But man, I've not seen it in a long time. Long time. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, when my dad first brought home a VCR in 1985, the first two movies we had on that first Magnavox blank tape were Back to the Future and Gremlins.
Nice.
And they were worn out. But I mean, eventually I'd watch Gremlins 2, the new batch, probably 500 times more than the original because it's so much better. But yeah, I return to Gremlins every year. This is one of my go-to Christmas films.
Wow. Dante didn't do the second one, right?
Yeah, he did the second one.
He did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
He didn't want to. That's why it's basically like a big middle finger to the Hollywood studio system, but it works in so many different ways satirically.
Yes, I need to revisit.
I wouldn't say it's exponentially better, but it is. They're two.
It's very different.
It's very different.
It's very much a comedy, where this
reason.
is almost strictly horror.
They're both perfect.
Yeah, and also this
first one's a horror movie.
Well, this is horror, but it's Spielbergian horror, and not like Poltergeist, Jaws horror. It's more like the more campy kind of fun side of like the ET side of horror.
Well, like Poltergeist has a dude ripping his own face. This is mid '80s Spielberg going through the divorce, making Temple of Doom, producing this and Poltergeist. He's a pissed off Spielberg that's in his very, very much dark side. So he's doing a lot of grim shit fantastically.
Yeah. And this is a pretty grim movie. I should have done like a body count. I mean, I'm like, there's like, oh yeah, like people die left and right throughout this film. I totally forgot about that shit.
There are heads being, the scientist, the scientist who takes the blood from the gremlin, and the gremlin steals his turkey sandwich or whatever. And he's
eating at 2 a.m. and doesn't finish. I'm just gonna eat half a sandwich at 2 a.m. then walk away from it.
After you were told, like everybody else, do not feed them after midnight. This guy just wakes up in the morning with his head under like a Bon Marie or something, and his body sticking out, which you can only assume means his head is fucking gone.
Right, but we don't know because Billy doesn't even bother to check on him. Like, oh, was this a dead man on the ground? I guess I'll just move on with my life. I mean, he does like have to like escape the gremlin at first, but like he has a minute to be like,
Billy,
Mr. Hanson, are you okay?
Billy, the dumbest shitbag in all of cinema. God, and I think that's where like I always really wanted to. This one reason I really want to talk about this movie all of the fucking time is that like Billy's the bad guy. This is like Joe Dante's little touch. It's like if they're supposed to be the heroes, there's supposed to be some kind of redeeming quality about them other than just their pure innocence and naivete.
The Mogwais? Or
no,
Billy?
like Billy and his like family and their middle class like little status quo life, like the mom using the blender as a weapon. Also, all the Chekhov weapons are great.
Yeah.
The swords that they introduced in the
Swords.
beginning, the
I love
blenders,
swords.
like all the appliances. It's fucking fantastic. The
All set
microwave.
up. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. But yeah, he's a fucking dimwit who just immediately fucks up all three rules. Like within like 24 hours.
Yeah, they don't get through 2 nights, I don't think. You're right about that. I
Yeah,
mean, I like
roughly.
that Billy does, I think, try and take responsibility. I mean, he has that whole Inglorious Bastards moment where they take out
Mm-hmm.
like all of, and there
All of
would
them.
be a lot of them. And so I think he does see that he made a mess and is trying to fix it. And I respect that about his character, and I respect the screenwriters for having, him not finally be the one that like seals the deal, that it ends up being Gizmo that saves the day, which Gizmo, like, from the start, when like you get the sense this is not Gizmo's first rodeo. This has happened to him before. He's like, oh fuck, here we
Yeah.
go again with these things. These fucking assholes. So I like that he gets to be the hero, and I get your point that like they're middle class, whatever have you. Um, they, I don't think that they're the bad guys, but there is a message that's trying to be sent to us, which is like, don't fuck with what you don't understand. Don't fuck with nature that you don't understand. Don't fuck with some sort of species that somehow evolved to not go in the sun or drink water. How did this thing get to this point of existence? I don't know. Not exactly evolutionarily, biologically
But
accurate, but
it's that's
And how can they walk on snow constantly? Isn't snow like most
I
of the
know
water?
water. I was thinking that while I was driving. I was like, wait a minute. Snow really
The
causes a
beer that
problem.
they're drinking constantly, the smoking. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. Like the Gremlins are like every time I watch Gremlins, and I always turn to Ange. I'm like, you know how you always wonder what we do at the feast. Like, watch this movie. That's pretty much it.
That's
Like when
it.
the Gremlins are fucking taking over Kingston Falls. Like you talk about the parents and Kingston Falls in general. These people, like the Mrs. Deagle character, is the perfect way to kind of have someone that needs to be punished and have this
yeah.
dark cloud come and punish evil people. I don't think there's enough bad people in the town to warrant this mini apocalypse. I think you could have done a little bit more with some more of these characters to make them deserved, because it is a mean-spirited film toward a lot of characters that just don't deserve it. And it's always more pleasing when someone deserves some comeuppance. But pretty much everyone besides Mrs. Deagle is this Capra-esque dipshit just smiling their way through life.
And that's the point, right?
this-
Because Kingston Falls is Bedford Falls, right? It is. I mean, it's like she's supposed to be Mr. Potter, right? This is
Yeah,
what's
right.
taking place.
But there. Okay, so who does Billy blow up in the theater?
All the
blows up?
Gremlins.
All the Gremlins,
The main
every,
threat.
Gremlins. The Gremlins.
every Gremlin but
okay,
Stripe.
Yeah.
But
every villain.
here's Joe's Dante's fucking genius and why he's like the script comes in from Chris Columbus. Guarantee you the script did not have any of these like details in it. Joe Dante takes it and makes it into something different. Very similar to like History of Violence, even though like the guy Josh Olson who wrote that is like a true dyed in the wool like lefty that I love. Cronenberg made that into a movie that was actually watchable. Dante takes the Gremlin story. The Gremlins are us. I mean, the Gremlins are the audience. I mean, the whole idea of us being in the theater watching hi ho, it's off to work we go. It is the working class sitting there repeating and singing the work along song that has been produced for us and being distracted. And Stripe is the only gremlin that is like observing like how the disorganization on the left is actually like creating is like allowing basically all of these gremlins. They've already been partying down at with Dooley's Tavern or whatever it's called, and now they're over at the movie theater, and then they get fucking baked by Billy, and Billy is all proud of himself for killing a bunch of fucking working class gremlins who just are they
Come on.
start off mischievous.
Working class.
They
What are
start
they
off
fixing? What are they working on? Their gremlins. They're
they
fucking
start off
shit up.
they start off mischievous. They are not allowed to see light. They're not allowed to be fed after midnight. They're not allowed
They're
water.
Morlocks.
The second they get any resources, what do? They fucking multiply and they start to organize. And that is a fucking story about like the working class being stomped out by the cute little fucking Gizmo and his and his little Billy and whatever the fuck. Like that is the story of Gremlins.
This is actually a great companion piece to Reds.
Fucking movie. Yeah, Gremlins
Upton Sinclair's Gremlins.
It's not Steven Spielberg. The only reason that Gizmo like survives till the end is because Dante apparently in the original script or in Dante's original version, Gizmo was also turned, and he was likely supposed to be like the Stripe character, but Spielberg loved the way he looked and he was too cute and all that, and they wanted to sell merchandise that he said he needed to stay till the end of the movie. So Dante was like, all right, fine, we'll figure this out. They only had so many puppets left in order to kind of make it happen, but they, of course, accommodated Steven Spielberg. What the hell are you gonna do? They made Gizmo way too fucking cute, so you can't kill him off.
Right.
But he was also supposed to turn into a gremlin. So I wonder what that movie would have actually looked like.
And
it would have been a full workers revolution.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Not a Trotskyite.
Well, because look, the what usually happens, and one of the biggest problems, like this is actually a perfect movie for now. Like that was a great allegory in the Reagan era. It's an even better one now because the angry gremlins are the people on the left that are pissing off everybody on the liberal center, who like are terrified that we're going to ruin the election for, Joe Biden, for instance, and just to make it very topical and put a pin in it. And it's absolutely true, though. There, in the beginning of any type of social movement, what you have is essentially just anger, frustration, and you have mischief, you have all of that. And that's what they're doing. They're just fucking around with the appliances. They don't know what the fuck to do. They have no organization in the beginning. Stripe comes around and he starts to organize them and brings them together. Then they all get fucking bombed, like in Vietnam, which is essentially where like Dante's coming from in 1984, because he was a very huge critic of like the Vietnam War and understood like napalm and all that. And that theater fucking explosion scene is basically the extermination of a bunch of working class gremlins.
So Dick Miller,
he pops up.
Pop it up. We got Dick Miller,
man. R.I.P.
Love to see him, and I think a good example of someone who gets set up to get killed, and there's no real reason for it. It is kind of
hates foreigners,
kind of a bummer. But he really does. He's all about that Kentucky Harvester. He's really about buying American, which I guess is kind of a class thing. Okay, sure.
And let's talk about how gremlins were first introduced to the world in World War II when they were trying to take down America's B-12 bombers.
Yeah.
It's ethnocentrism, which what you see with Dick Miller. He doesn't understand. He understands that he doesn't like something that's like foreign made, a foreign element in his life. So what he's lost that sense of solidarity with anyone else. He has become a nationalist.
I love how at the bar Phoebe Cates is like serving them, like they showed up and she's like
serving them.
Oh, everybody else is like getting murdered or like right away screaming. She's like, well, my solution here is clearly to just
run up a tab.
Listen to Peter Gabriel's Out, which is like the only place you're gonna hear that song. And and then just suddenly decide like to make a break for it. But again, that's also kind of an Inglorious Bastard scene, a bit of a Rathskeller moment there, kind of stuck in there trying to get out until she's broken out by Billy, and then and then
They really set that place off, don't they? I mean, the Gremlins really like that place. It's a depressing dive, and then all of a sudden you get all the working dudes in there, and they go
working class
hog
Gremlins.
wild, turning it fucking. They
got
turn that
paychecks,
shit up.
they got overalls. Where's the work that they're producing? That you're talking about
Payday.
What is their production? What are they producing? You
We're
keep
gonna
on
start
talking about
chaos.
them as laborers,
We're
not
gonna talk about
producing
this.
anything.
We're gonna start talking about the science of pupilism between gremlin to gremlin, between mogwai to gremlin.
Mammalian
Yeah.
pupil
You can-
stages.
Yes, we're
I
mammalians.
know where to jump in here. I mean, Luke, you may have. You may have turned me around. I mean, I've seen this movie 1,000 times, and I've always felt it's about the same thing, which is the irresponsibility of parents in the 70s and 80s. I mean, I think it's clearly that the Gremlins are teenagers. Gizmo is an innocent child, and teenagers terrorize children. Teenagers that are unsupervised and not being taken care of, i.e., the rules are not applied to them in a convincing way. They're going to run amok and destroy you. I mean, I think it's pretty simple.
That fucking theater scene when it pans across and you see all the Gremlins freaking out in the movie theater. Find me a teacher that hasn't looked at that scene and went, "Oh, there's my classroom."
They're watching. What are they watching? They are literally watching the seven dwarves sing "Hi ho, hi ho, it's off to work we go."
It's the beginning,
and they are laughing their fucking asses off, and then they get blown up.
They do. They get blown up. Although I love that we had that moment where they're like going, where they had that moment of tension where they're all like trying to rush through the screen at them and like scratching the movie screen all up. And that's a fun moment.
They're fucking great. That's like the Plato's fucking cave. Like that is like a perfect example of Plato's cave, which is something that Jane Campion does in the piano, which is, you've got like the Aboriginal or the people that are indigenous who are not used to seeing film or seeing projections at all, and they start to think that what's on the screen is real.
No, they see Billy and what's her name like behind the screen, and then they chase them after then because they're trying to switch reels. And
you're right. That is true. It is different. It's a little bit.
Sorry, Jane Campion.
No, yeah, don't be. Everybody watch the piano. Still amazing.
I've actually never seen it.
Perfect anti-colonials film. It's brilliant.
I have seen Gremlins quite a few times. I do remember you talking about like wanting to do Gremlins on this show the first year that this podcast started. You guys ever do Gremlins? I want to get on.
Now you know why.
This was the diatribe you had locked and loaded ready.
Yeah.
The working class Gremlins and their invisible production.
Yep. Bricklayer Gremlin.
Man, it is. Also, we forgot to talk about like just how amazing thematically the motifs are, like the way the music starts like popping off in the beginning, like the ding 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 ding, like just little teasers like along the way. And then when they get in that bulldozer, the what is it, the Kentucky Feister, what's it called?
Kentucky Harvester.
The Kentucky Harvester, man, it just jumps right off. Like the whole bulldozer going through that fucking home is incredible. And I think what's really genius about Dante in this is that similar to a critique I've heard about Verhoeven, he's willing to make a movie that makes it seem like it's the people you're supposed to cheer for are the actual villains. And the reason I think the Gremlins are monstrous is because that's the only way you sell that shit to Hollywood, and it's the only way you sell it to a fucking audience.
I think
but what they are is they are a marginalized group that has never seen light, that doesn't get fed, that doesn't have water, and like if you give them those resources, they will pop off, they will multiply, they will become an actually potentially organized source of
I'm coming
So
around
we,
to
yeah.
this. I
we
mean,
all have our lens
shit.
that we're seeing this through, and for me, it's an environmental one, right? Which brings me back to like your point
But that
earlier
would
about
also be, I
brings
think
me
that would
back
be
to your point
pretty.
earlier about the pain that what they were causing. So to agree with you to an extent about perhaps the Gremlins being protagonists, not working class, I don't fucking see that at all. But about them being potentially protagonists,
Disagree.
hang on, please, my turn. Um, there is this the fact that like they're getting hurt, right? The Mogwai are being hurt throughout. They're being poked. They're being deliberately. Even Billy pours water on Gizmo at one point, knowing the agony it's going to cause him, and all that kind of stuff. So I think that an argument can be made that the Gremlins are like the final fruition of that like carelessness towards nature, and that the humans are reaping what they sow. So I can see that, but at the same time, it's hard for me to watch any movie and be like, well, these are the good guys. They're the ones murdering people because reasons. So
Yeah.
No, I love that because in the end he does say, what does he tell him? You've taken all of nature's gifts and this is
yes.
what you do with it.
Yeah, and I think that's like, okay, now I'm going to lay them down. Here's it is. Lay it out. The whole. This is the message of the movie. You don't have the responsibility to deal with nature, and you're fucking with it anyway.
I mean, yeah. I mean, your thought process and thesis is palatable. I mean, I was worried that you were going to draw a comparison to the Wuhan lab and Grandpa's shop. You didn't, and I'm glad. It might be there if you want to make that comparison, but we're not going to do that. There are some problematic
new podcast about that. Let's just
there are some problematic like mysteries of the Orient shit still going on in 1984 here. That I remember like being fun, and now I'm like, oh, come on, this is getting a little bit. But like as far as things being dated, like the standout for me is just how, and it always surprised. I've seen this a million times, and I'm always surprised just how cruel the film is. It is fucking cruel. Like Gremlins are armed with fucking guns at like 10 points. You're not seeing this today. This comes out today, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, what does this look like if this comes out today? It's a completely different movie with different threats. I mean, the Gremlins aren't smoking, they're not drinking, they're not shooting people. The threats are going to be like hacking your TikTok video. It's going to be fucking so homogenized.
Miss Deagle is not going to be threatening to put your dog in on high heat on the dryer to kill him.
No. No, and she's going to get like slime dumped on her head. She's not going to get thrown out a window at 300 miles an hour.
And that's not that's not the worst thing. You know, that we've gotten to a place where kids aren't necessarily exposed to like characters smoking and drinking and threatening violence towards animals. Sorry, Luke.
That's fucking perfect. I actually, and I was like, I had to make a note like towards the end, like there are like weird talk tracks at the end. It's like Mr. Deagle was a convicted stock swindler, which is fucking hilarious.
Yep, just throw that in there.
Stock swindler.
Yep, that's just throws that right out. But they use riot language to talk about what happened in Fallsville or whatever the fuck the place is called.
Kingston Falls. Yeah.
They use mass hysteria. And again, like the way I would even think about this is that, you know, this is the story that the people of Fallsville would tell about the gremlin situation. That's how they would refer to it. They would talk about it in the way that we all like probably saw it in the 80s and rooted for, you know, Gizmo and Billy. We would probably be in agreement with that, but this is not like the film that it's not the film that I saw, and I literally I think it was very intentional. I think it was very, very fucking smart, and I tried to find so many different ways I tried to find Dante talking about this honestly, and I couldn't find a goddamn thing other than like 3 or 4 clips that, like, this is YouTube, man. Like, I found like 3 clips of him talking about it, and they were all less than like 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
And he talked about who owns a gremlin. Somebody owns a gremlin. Some dickhead owns a gremlin, but like, the rubber doesn't really hold up, so someone's got a gremlin. Uh, and then he talked about nothing. It was just nothing, nothing, nothing.
We need to mention this is we've yet again got one of the Coreys on this show, Eric. We've bounced pretty back and forth from
Oh
having
shit! What is
either
this,
Corey.
number 5?
Yeah, we got Feldman on here, and I love how Dante reuses a lot of the same actors, not just Corey Feldman and Dick Miller. Did you notice that in the credits, Nikki Cat was credited
I noticed
as one of
that.
the kids?
Yep,
I bet
I
he's the kid
noticed
that
that.
threw the fucking paper airplane, is my guess.
I noticed
Even
it.
Nikki Cat shows up. All right, do we have any other points that we want to bring into this
Fun.
before we wrap things up?
Fun little factoid. While I was working at a video store in New York City, Phoebe Cates once
No
walked
shit.
in
Awesome.
and bought a DVD of Squid and the Whale.
Oh wow! Okay.
Which we've also done on the show. Jesus, we've done a lot of movies.
Which my like coworker, first of all, he was like trying to get my attention. He was like throwing stuff at me under the
Phoebe Cates,
counter,
Phoebe
like,
Cates.
look the fuck, look. This
Yeah.
is like 2005. And then he is talking to her and he's like, "Oh, you don't have copies of this in your house?" Because she's married
my
to
God.
Kevin Kline, and it was her son that was in Squid and the Whale. So she came into our video store, bought a DVD of Squid and the Whale, which her son was in.
I didn't realize
It was just like odd. Yeah. No, I didn't either at the moment. Like, he was just like trying to get my attention.
That's funny.
And I saw her like kind of like on her way out. I saw her, whatever. But Phoebe Cates, man, one of the greatest of all time.
Although I will say that her soliloquy in this movie has had almost as much.
Oh shit, we didn't even talk about it.
It's had almost as much negative impact as what's that fucking wilderness movie, White Wilderness movie that made everyone think that lemmings killed themselves, but it wasn't true. Completely false bullshit that people kill themselves around holidays. Bullshit. We all grew up thinking it was real because we saw it in one movie. Ridiculous.
Wait. No, okay. Well, I 100% thought that was true.
Lots of people did.
I will look into it, Travis. If you have links for people who are suffering during this time, you should definitely include
Make
that
a phone
in the show
call
notes.
if you're struggling. If you saw Gremlins and you're struggling, make that call.
If you're struggling with like really important things, call a complete stranger on a phone line and see if they walk you back from the ledge. Sometimes they do, so definitely do that. Yeah,
do that.
Definitely fucking do that.
Cinema
Actually,
Nine
call us.
Advocates
Call
that.
us.
I don't know what's going on over. No, call Luke.
Call me, dude. 917-484-06.
Class.
1-800 working class
977
gremlin.
class.
Visit workingclassgremlins.org for more information.
Like
here's the thing. It is the portrayal of the Gremlins as being terrible that is absolutely in line with the way that anybody who is middle class looks at anybody who is not middle class, and that is how you know it is. You're literally just dealing with a real sense of like that ethno or chauvinism. You're just dealing with chauvinism, class chauvinism.
Well,
I miss Joe Dante. Like his succession of films going into the mid '90s before.
Well, I miss his good movies.
I think Matinee was the capper, but like every single one was amazing. I think Matinee was the last good one.
Yeah, Small Soldiers
is
not great.
Fucking Space Jam or something. Jesus.
No, he did Small Soldiers, and I think that was
Small Soldiers is amazing too.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't really care for it, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
All right. That's
all right.
Next. Yeah, let's do that again.
All right. So,
Love you, dude.
What do you think, Luke? You brought this to the table. What are your 100% final thoughts?
Absolutely holds up. I still think it's a masterpiece, and I still think it's definitely one of the only seditious films that came out of the 80s, especially under Steven Spielberg's watch.
So you're giving it holds up?
100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I don't think I had any intention of thinking anything otherwise. It's fun to do this show because most of the time we're like, hey, does it hold up? But around holidays, and especially with guests, and especially if we're doing a holiday movie with a guest, it's just like, let's just watch a classic movie we love. So, of course, this movie fucking holds up as we knew that it would. Eric, what do you
Yeah.
say?
Oh, I mean, there's no question about it. It was good to revisit it and talk. There is interesting stuff to talk about within the movie. Like, Joe Dante's one of the. He's definitely not the first, but he's one of the kind of big league Hollywood directors that really made a big attempt, starting with Twilight Zone, the movie, in his "It's a Good Life" segment, to kind of blend zany, like Tex Avery, Chuck Jones style animation with live action. And to me, I mean, there's no mystery here. The Gremlins are cartoon characters come to life. It's what would happen if cartoons were real. I mean, they would kill us. I mean, this is before Roger Rabbit did it. Like, if animated creatures were real, they would fucking kill us and they would be insane. And I think this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to make a fun movie. It's mean spirited because it's the fucking 80s and everyone's out of their mind on cocaine and Steven Spielberg's pissed.
Sums it up.
But he's trying to he's trying to blend animation with reality and show us the consequences of that in an interesting way. I mean, I would never show my kids this until they're like, well, I'll take a step back. I think it's healthy to show kids scary things to prepare them for the world, but I mean, it's severe and you really have to be careful if you don't want kids seeing some crazy shit here. But that's kind of the cool thing about it. I mean, the design of the Gremlins is out of this world, and this guy Chris Wallace, who designed them, you never really hear from him. I looked him up on IMDb. He's been doing nothing. He's still around, and he's been doing nothing for like 25, 30 years. He takes what's really interesting to me, and I've always loved the fact that Chris Columbus, he set out to make an interpretation of the Kelly Hopkinsville incident in 1955, where it was said that these fucking gremlins took over this barn in Kentucky, and the designs based on like what these fucking people in the hills drew, they look exactly like Chris Wallace's Gremlins. They look like that. And that that gradually morphed into this story. But design of the creatures is cool, and the energy of it. He's got like he takes a lot from the Invaders episode of Twilight Zone, one of the best, and it's just got so much life. I love the movie. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's mean as fuck. Okay, Gremlins 2 was not like that, and Joe Dante swallowed a big pill. I think he doesn't do a lot of interviews about it because he doesn't particularly care for it, because when he came back and he was forced by the studio in a picture deal to make a sequel, he kind of did the opposite of what Gremlins, the original, was doing, and kind of flipped it, and he turned it into a complete comedy, and tried as much as he could to poke fun at everything that the studio was trying to get him to do, to put a big horror comedy picture into kids into theaters with kids in them in 1984. And you can't forget, this is what started PG-13. We didn't talk about that. Gremlins and Temple of Doom started the PG-13 rating because of its extreme violence.
Oh, I didn't know
Gremlins. Yeah, and he
Doom,
resented that.
Gremlins.
Yeah, and he resented that. So he said, I'll come back, but if I'm going to do it, I don't want to frighten children. I want to make a fun movie.
I think there's a reticence. Is there not a reticence to just acknowledge that there might be something bigger at play here with movies like this, with Dante? I know that we got to wrap it up, but you know, Gremlins 1 is Gremlins.
It holds up. Okay, good. Me too.
Gremlins 1 is a socialist fucking revolution. Gremlins 2 is anarchy, and you can see that it's very clear and it's very fucking important. And Dante's very explicit about it, but it's very hard to find him talking about it on YouTube. So
I hate when I know something, but I can't find sources to support that I know it.
Shut the fuck up.
Come on.
You didn't know that he was you didn't know he's an Italian socialist? He's been on
Joe
that
Dante?
tip for a minute. Yeah.
Is he Italian? I mean, like Italian American, you mean?
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Dude. All right. We'll talk about that later. Everybody do your own research. I will pull up articles and maybe send them to you.
Honestly,
But
the only thing
you
I
don't
know
have to
about
do
him is
that.
that he came out of Mussolini's eyeball. That's the only
There you
fact
go.
I know about him.
well, Mussolini was a fascist. That's right wing. So,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
not quite what
He was
he's
a
talking
student of the
about.
great Roger Corman, and there's a shitload of Corman in here.
Yeah, there's
Shitload of Corman.
lot of horror camp comedy stuff going on
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep, for
Um,
sure. No, he's just a friend of the fucking working man. That's all you really need to know.
yeah, no,
He loves human beings. you
I
don't need
have picked
to.
up on that.
You don't
Although
need to fight that fucking point.
I'm not funny at that point. I do think that he critiques human beings' approach through nature, as I said, to reiterate that one more time.
He 100% does. Yeah, it's absolutely correct.
So we are coming back next week. We have a guest host again, your co-host over at Is It Safe Pod. And again, check out Is It
Guile?
Safe Pod with Steve Guile, who will be our guest host next week. But if you can get more of Luke, you can get more of Mike if you want more Mike, and then Guile, of course, over there at Is It Safe? Question mark. You got to type the question mark in for that podcast. And Guile has picked a Christmas movie. Frankly, it was the one I was hoping he was going to pick. I'm like, I know that he's going to come from left field with some wackadoo fucking Christmas movie because we asked him to pick a Christmas movie, and I'm like, I bet he picks this movie from 2010, this horror comedy Finnish film, as in from Finland. We were doing the cult classic Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale from Finland. I'm really excited to do this. I watched it a couple years ago and talked about it on the show. I wish that Mike would be able to be there for it. Luke, you're familiar?
He told me to watch it. And I never actually did. So
now you've got more motivation.
I'm gonna watch. I'm watching that this week.
I'm excited to revisit it, and
absolutely.
that's what we're going to be doing next week. So thank you again, Luke, for joining us.
Exports.
Really appreciate you being the third pole in the tent. We needed you. And yeah, all right. We miss you, Mike, and happy holidays to everybody. I think that's about it, right?
That's it for now.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Gizmo, Kaka.